We expected a lot when we came. We had an awful lot of hope.
We were all young couples and just starting a family.
You come here expecting to build a life. And that is the most important thing in life, is the family and building a home.
There was lines waiting to sign up for homes. They were buying homes that weren't there yet. Just a stick in the ground, that's all, with a number on it.
That's what we were here for, is to start a life afresh with no war.
I've got the bell-bottom blues 'cause my sweetie is a sailor and he's sailing somewhere on the sea.
The story of Levittown, Pennsylvania begins with the end of World War II, the GIs coming home, Americans yearning for peace and prosperity.
When the fellas come
Now with affordable cars and cheap housing prices in growing suburbs, families left cities they lived in for generations.
A lot of people they were young, right? They were in their 20s or 30s. Many of them had grown up of fairly modest means, especially during the Depression, many in row houses.
This huge community, now being built at the rate of 200 homes a week, is equipped with shops, schools, churches, and railway stations.
This was where slices of the American dream were plentiful and cheap. All of this was the brainchild of one man, the developer, William Levitt.
I was dancing with my darling.
Levittown began in 1952. Truman was president, Patti Page on top of the music charts.
I happened to see.
And sprawling Pennsylvania farmlands vanished in a burst of construction. Entire homes were built in rapid succession. Families moved in almost right away.
Got a house and a car and a wedding ring.
To me, it was the fastest growth of a community that allowed it to look as though it had been there a long time.
Bring a little love into my life.
It was kind of hectic, but well controlled. And it went on 7 days a week, actually 24 hours a day, because I've seen guys put roofs on at night under lights.
There was no infrastructure, there was nothing. It was a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people coming in to one great big pot.
This is it, my hometown. The place we as members of this community call home.
Levitt devised a handful of house models to fit any budget. There was the Levittowner model, the most affordable of the choices. If you had a bit more cash, you could go for a Jubilee-style home. War veterans and their families were given special deals.
And all we had to do was put $100 down, sight unseen, but it was still a concrete block with the heater in the middle. And it took 3 months for our house to be built.
Everything was built from scratch to make life easy, from the careful placement of churches and shopping centers to home furnishings.
They came complete with everything.
Everything we needed was right there.
From mailboxes,
all the appliances were in the kitchen,
to trash cans,
2 bathrooms,
curtains.
Everything was landscaped, so it was perfect.
I mean, it was a fabulous deal.
In Bucks County, Pennsylvania, a gigantic 4,000-acre steel plant is ready to operate. Employees at the new works watch the...
For 3 decades, the steel mill meant thousands of Levittowners could fund their new lives and growing families. But not all families were welcome. Levitt refused to sell new homes to African Americans. In 1957, the Myers family bought this house secondhand. They were the first African Americans to settle in Levittown.
They had an awful time. The family had an awful time because there was so much prejudice against them.
The family was heckled outside their home. A cross was burned. The state police came in to calm things down. Still, many in Levittown supported the Myers.
We heard a lot about it. Yeah, I felt really bad about it.
I thought, come on in, you know. It's like anything else, yeah.
Levittown's history since the 1950s mirrors the ups and downs of America's middle class, with stories more complex than the neat rows of suburban homes might let on. But for many, Levittown's early years were simply a moment where families could be raised in war forgotten.
Again and again, you find these incredible cases of people rolling up their sleeves and building community. In retrospect, it was a brief moment in American history where a greater percentage of the population have a bigger slice of the American dream than they can afford to now.
I know it was cookie cutter and all those things. I still feel it was a wonderful thing that was available to people, particularly younger people. And it'll never happen again.